Hey, this is going to be my informative speech. It is about what it takes to become a pro football player. So, in this speech, I'm going to talk about what it really takes to make it pro after college. It's not really about being athletic or having talent. It's a lot more that goes into it. I played in high school. I played a year in college last year. So I think I kind of know a little to the college point in the recruiting process, but I mean, I enjoy football, I enjoy everything that goes with it. So I think that this is a good topic for me. So I'm hoping to give out a lot of knowledge and information to a lot of you about this. So this is it. The starting point. High school is really where it all kind of starts up into the next point, which is college. So, um, yeah, it all really just kicks off at high school. Your coaches got you working out a lot. They got practice 4 or 5 days a week, watching a bunch of film, and then you got game days on Fridays. All that while trying to still be noticed by scouts and trying to get offers. Um, and it's not just you who's trying to go through us. It is a, a lot of other people. So that's what makes it extremely difficult is that while you're trying to perform on the field, you have to try and get the attention for all these scouts that are probably just being bombarded with other people. So I think it's a lot more early on about discipline than it is about talent. Because, I mean, if you're disciplined enough, you're constantly working towards it. And then your talent just kind of comes with it. But if you're just talented early on and you just are kind of cocky and, oh, I don't need to be disciplined, I'm already good at this. I mean, in the long run, discipline is much over talent. So when you get noticed, the recruiting process, their coaches are going to look at a lot more than just your game film and your tape. They're going to watch how hard you work on the field, off the field, in the classroom, everything. Your attitude also on the field, off the field. Everything about your attitude is basically important. Along with your GPA, when it comes to college, is that there's the barrier. I don't remember what it is, but I think it's like 2.5 is the minimum. So you have to have above a 2.5 or else you can't play. I think that's really important because you're gonna have to be good in the classroom. You're a student athlete, not just an athlete. So you're gonna have to work towards that. And the recruiting process isn't just gonna fall on your lap, and they're not gonna come easy. They are very difficult to earn, along with everything that comes with it. So I think that is really hard to do is just get an offer. Once you get out of the recruiting process, it comes to college football. College football is, compared to high school, completely different. It's the whole college thing in general. Um, the practices are just so much faster paced, more physical, a lot more physical. And on top of that, you're trying to balance the classroom part. Again, you're a student athlete, so you have to balance that while adjusting to the college football schoolroom life. And the workouts are also way more intense, way more fast paced. All that while trying to perform a practice, trying to get your spot, trying to get your name out there. There's always going to be someone behind you who's working for the same thing. So you always have to be on your A game. And like I said, I went to Wartburg last year. I only did 1 year. It wasn't really for me. I think it was very different, and I don't think I kept up with it very well. But yeah, the early practices, early workouts, they're much, much, much different than high school. The standard for college football, college sports, college anything in general, the standards are extremely high. The mental side of the game. You could be a freak athlete who's very good at everything that they do, really. But if you don't have the mental side under control or figured out yet, it's not going to matter. Coaches aren't going to let that fly. You're going to have to study a whole playbook, which compared to high school to college playbooks, it's much more complex. You have to have the IQ for football. You're gonna have to stay locked in at all times, really, because they're watching you no matter what you do. You're gonna have to bounce back from your mistakes, and you can't let let the bad things get to your head because coaches are gonna notice that if you let things get the best of you. It's very important about how you react basically all the time. Going pro. So after college, it's pro, really. Um, if you don't make it, because like it says only 9 out of 2% college players get drafted, which is kind of crazy. It's not poor for you, really. Like I said, there's the Canadian Football League, the United Football League, the Indoor Football League. There's many of other options, even just to kick it off. Like there are a lot of people that if they don't get drafted or make it in the NFL at the first chance. They go to one of those leagues, they ball out, and then they get their spot. Um, you could, even if you don't want to go to the leagues, you could get tryouts for NFL teams, the mini camps for NFL teams, which I think a lot of people do that. And then a lot of people make it there or one of the other leagues. So I think that if you don't give up, you will be rewarded on how hard you work. Dealing with all these setbacks, injuries are going to happen. You can't you can't just prevent not being injured. You could get cut, transferred, or even benched, which I think after all of that, you could be pretty low mentally. And I think a lot of people tend to quit there. But the ones who don't, the ones who want to stay motivated and work hard towards the comeback, I think they're the ones that get their chance in the long run. The final thoughts. Yeah, like I said, it takes a lot more than just talent. You're gonna have to hustle every day, stay sharp mentally, and never lose your focus. It's a very long, really hard road process that people don't, I don't think people understand how hard it really is for the people that make it, everything that they've been through and everything that they work for. And then, yeah, I think that not many people get that. And I think that's really impressive that people tend to do that. Yeah, this is the end. So thank you for listening.